So, it's no secret that the anime adaptation for Bleach's final arc is shaping up to be historical. Not only because of how amazing it's being handled, but also because with this anime essentially being a second go at the Thousand-Year Blood War, mistakes that were made previously can be corrected and new elements can be added, and we've seen this take place multiple times already, so with that being the case, a question must be asked. What more will be added in the impending course, but more specifically for this video's sake, will we finally see the long-awaited reveal of his bankai? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Today we shall discuss not only the possibility of Aizens Bon Kai showing up in the Thousand-Year Blood War anime, but also we'll be speculating about what his bankai could be as well. But before we do that, I just want to say, if you guys enjoy Bleach content on the channel and want to see more of it, make sure you like this video. It helps me out, it helps the video out, it helps the channel out, it helps everybody out. Mainly, everybody, if everybody was me. But it also lets me know that you guys want to see a whole lot more. But back to the topic at hand. Now, Aizens Bon Kai is a very curious thing, because despite the character having so much screen time and being so integral to the plot, and having a massive showcasing of abilities across numerous arcs, to my knowledge, there hasn't been a single hint not only towards what his bankai could even possibly be, but neither he nor anyone else has ever even mentioned his bankai. And to take it a step further, I don't think Kubo has at any point hinted towards it at all either, which makes Aizens Bon Kai a complete and total mystery. And with that being the case, it's actually led some to believe that he may not even have that ability. Now, I don't subscribe to that idea because to me, it just doesn't quite make too much sense, and it doesn't quite fit with the identity of that character as well. Plus, if I didn't believe that he had a bankai, I wouldn't be making this video. I personally think that Kubo never decided to bring up his bankai because it wasn't necessary. His Shikai is already unbelievably broken, so what would even be the need to go above and beyond that level? And in addition, one of Aizen's main objectives was to obtain the Hogyoku, and since he achieved that goal, there's even less of a reason to show off bankai, because of what that item can do. With that in mind though, I do believe there is one scenario that could lead to his bankai finally being put on display, and this scenario would have to push him to exhaust all resources at his disposal, because if that's not done, he'd surely die. Bankai would have to be the last option because nothing else would be working for him. And I'm talking about Aizen versus Yuhaba. Realistically, that is the only scenario I think that could drive Aizen to finally unleashing his bankai. Now, with that being said, I do have to say I'm well aware that this exact fight actually takes place in the manga, and to my knowledge, even though Aizen was going up against the strongest antagonist in the series, he still didn't use bankai. But that, my friends, is where the anime comes in. With all the numerous changes we've seen take place within the Thousand-Year Blood War, it's kinda within reason to entertain the possibility of Kubo adding an extra scene, showing off the very thing Aizen fans have been waiting for since his first reveal. Plus, if Kubo wanted to break the internet, that's the way that you do it. If he truly wants to shock the world and surprise everyone, Aizens Bon Kai is the path that he needs to take. But anyway, now that we've solved the question of when, it's now time to answer the question of what, as in what Aizens Bon Kai could even be, which is more difficult than I first thought because, as I mentioned prior, Kyoka Suigetsu is already broken beyond belief, so how do you upgrade something that's that insane? Well, that's the challenge I've taken upon myself, and I've come up with a couple ideas, so here we go. The first one I got is what I believe a true extension of his Shikai would be, and my thought process was, if Kyoka has complete control of all 5 senses, then what if Aizen's bankai shuts down all 5 senses of the people inside a certain area? It'd be similar to Tosen's Bankai, but way more effective, because it wouldn't be a dome that somewhat nullifies some of your spiritual energy, sight, sound, etc. It would be more like, if Aizen is the central starting point where the Bankai exudes from, there would be a surrounding area with a radius of like a couple miles, and if you were to enter said area, all of your senses would instantly vanish. But on the other hand, Aizen wouldn't be able to freely move in this space. The area of effect would be mapped to his movements, so wherever he goes, it goes as well. And there would obviously have to be like a time limit attached to it, just so it wasn't completely and totally 100% effective, and there was no chance that you could break out or free yourself or do anything like that. But that would be like its only downside. So that was the first idea. Now the second one I've got is based more off of one of the memes that surrounds Aizens Bon Kai, or the speculation around Aizens Bon Kai, I should say. Which, if you don't know what that is, people often joke that Aizen's true power is the ability to basically influence Kubo, become the writer of the series, and have him write what Aizen wants to be the case, or have Aizen write what he wants to be the case, something like that. And as funny as it is, it actually got me thinking, what if his Bankai actually had the power to rewrite the reality of whatever his current situation is? Think loosely like the Reality Stone from Marvel, but with a horribly long startup time, and he wouldn't be able to just insta-kill someone. There'd have to be some restrictions. I was thinking more along the lines of, if Aizen was fighting Yhwach alongside an ally and Yhwach dodged an attack from the ally, he'd be able to rewrite the situation to make it so the attack actually landed and Yhwach didn't dodge. But just to give it a negative, if Yhwach was able to catch on to what was happening and, I don't know, shout it out or something like that, then his ability would no longer be effective and the Bankai would deactivate. So think, like I said, the Reality Stone, or maybe something similar to Black as well, but severely toned down. Now, having said all that, it's time to move on to my final idea, and this one is probably my favorite out of the three, because the Bankai in this case would trap the opponent in an illusion of Aizen's perfect world, the Soul Society he aims to make, and the longer you're trapped inside this make-believe world, the quicker you begin to lose your mind and potentially be trapped there forever. It would essentially be a prison in your own mind, and if you are in there for an extended period of time, then you're essentially brain dead afterwards. And the only way to break out of this illusion would be to find Aizen Zanpakuto, but in this perfect soul society, there's two versions. Not of the sword, but of the Soul Society. The before and after. So once you break through the illusion of peace that's on display, which is the after, you then have to make your way through the world that had to die for the new one to be created. And that's where you'll find his Zanpakuto. However, in the before, there's thousands of dead Soul Reapers, which means their swords are littered throughout the before. There's also hollows of the worst kind, alive and dead, surrounding the area, which you'll have to make your way through as well. But like I said, if you find Aizen's true Zanpakuto and touch it, then you'll be free from the illusion. But it's a huge if, because the before is not a pretty place. Future Iron Nancy here, / editing Iron Nancy, coming at you with like a little bit of an update, because while I was drawing this Bankai out, I made a couple change, well really only one change, and that's to deal with the archway that you're seeing behind Aizen. And I figured that would kind of be his actual Bankai. I took a little bit of inspiration from Senjimaro, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, I can't really remember. But yeah, I took a little bit of inspiration from her from the Squad Zero group. And yeah, that would actually be his bankai, so you could still have like the sword thing where you still have to figure it out, but then you have to realize that the actual archway is his bankai instead of one of the swords in order to break the illusion. So still following the similar path, there's just one slight change. But yeah, that's basically it for this one. I've got a couple more ideas for what his bankai could possibly be, but I felt that these were the best, and I didn't want to make this video too long, so I figured I'll just cut it off here. But anyways, thank you all very much for watching. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with notifications on. And if you've got a couple theories pertaining to what Aizens Bon Kai could be, let them fly in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody!